What's going on, people? My name is Eric Ellison, and you are watching the Full Circle Sports Show. Now, something crazy happened last night in Arizona in the desert. Alabama beat Clemson 45-40. Jake Coker and Derrick Henry had the game of their life, but I mean, actually, Derrick Henry had three touchdowns, 36 carries, and 158 yards. Jake Coker went 16 for 25 for 335 yards and 2 touchdowns. And O.J. Howard had 5 receptions for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Crimson Tide. I was actually kind of thinking maybe the Bama dynasty may be over. But that game showed me that Bama is still up and running. Clemson, though, is here. And that's not a team you want to mess with, okay? Next year, I would not be surprised to see Clemson and Bama in the playoff again. That would not surprise me one little bit, especially with Deshaun Watson, who went 30 for 47, 405 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He did throw 1 pick, which kind of changed the landscape of the first half. And Gallman had a quiet night. He was being stuffed at the line of scrimmage, so that shows me that Alabama respected Gallman and what he can do and what he can bring to the table. So, my pick, I picked Clemson to win the football game. I was wrong about that, but the things that I talked about in the before the game was true. Okay, come to be. Deshaun Watson had a terrific night. He made a bunch of something out of a bunch of nothing. And but I was also wrong. I was wrong about Jake Coker. He showed me that he has improved greatly from the beginning of the year. Jake Coker impressed me big time. Deshaun Watson, I got that pick right. He pretty much did run all over Alabama's defense. Pretty much. He got stopped several times in key moments, but he dominated Alabama's defense. Now, Deshaun Watson broke a record. Deshaun Watson, he broke a record in the national championship game last night in that 45-40 loss. Now, watch out for Clemson next year. I already said that earlier, but watch out for Clemson next year. They are going to be back, and they're going to come back with fury. That's not a team you want to face in Clemson. I see them going all the way next year again. With Deshaun Watson being back, Wayne Gallman being back, Shaq Lawson being back, and Kevin Dodd being back. With all those guys being back, I see Clemson going back to the dance, to the playoff, to the championship game. I see that coming too. I think Alabama will be back in the playoff. I don't think they're gonna make the championship game. I don't know, but this is really early pick. So it's kind of hard to judge where people are gonna be at the end of next year when it's in the beginning of next year. It's still several months away. So, I go back to the end of the first half where the clock I'm not going to say malfunction, but the person running the clock had a brain, went dead, basically. That could have resulted in 3 or 7 points. That were taken off the scoreboard because the clock malfunctioned. Now, that was a great block by whoever blocked it. I forgot who. blocked the kick. That was a good. He got a fingertip on it, and it affected the kick big time. And I also go back to a play where Deshaun Watson threw a perfect pass to someone, forgot his name, and it was a good catch until a Alabama defender knocked it out of his hand. That was a good heads-up play by the Alabama defender. That's a good place where Alabama impressed me big time, was in that play. And also, on that onside kick, that was an illegal. It should have been Clemson's ball. I'm not making an excuse, okay? It should have been Clemson's ball because the rules state that the ball must hit the ground before an Alabama or the kicking team can take control of the ball. So that was botched on the referee's part, but I'm not taking anything away from what Alabama accomplished. Alabama won the football game 45-40. It was a great game, probably the best games I have seen ever, played by two of the best teams in the country. So now we're going to take off to the NFL, where we are now in the divisional rounds. We have the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Denver Broncos. Those are two AFC games. Those two are going to be on CBS. Now, for the NFC division round, it's going to be Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals, and Seattle Seahawks and the Panthers. Panthers and Seahawks is going to be on Fox, and Packers and Cardinals is going to be on NBC. Now, I think that the Chiefs are going to beat the Patriots. Hold me to it. I mean, with what they did in the wild card round against the Texans, really showed me a bunch and what they're capable of. Now, I'm not saying that the Texans are equal to the Patriots, but the Chiefs are a really good team. Since that terrible start that they had in this winning streak, they have been a different team than what they started. And the Packers and Cardinals, I think Arizona will take the game. They're the best team in the NFC right now. And for the Seahawks and Panthers games, I got the Seahawks in that game. Cam Newton is going to have a good game. Russell Wilson is going to take the win back to Seattle, and they're going to advance to the conference finals, or whatever they call it, I forget. And for the Steelers and the Broncos, I can't really say on that game. I hadn't really kept up with the NFL as good as I probably should have this year, so I can't tell you. Now, that's going to do it for today's show. My name is Eric Ellison. Go watch some NFL football. That's all we got now. Go check out basketball. It's going good. Now, I do have something to say about basketball, actually. Okay? College basketball. Georgia Tech, watch out for the Yellow Jackets this season, okay? Seeing what they've done the past 3 games, I'm not a fan of moral victories, but those first 2 ACC games were close games against 2 ranked teams. And then they go and beat Virginia the way they did. I mean, they didn't blow them out and everything, I know that, but they played a great game and won the game against Virginia. Watch out for them. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, it's going to be Georgia Tech going to South Bend to play Notre Dame. I just want to see how they do in that game. If they play a good game, a good strong game, watch out for them. They could end up in the big dance, or just a little one. But that's my wild card pick for college basketball in the ACC. Now, come back on Thursday. We're gonna have an ACC football recap show where me and probably Jonathan are gonna pick our biggest disappointment, biggest surprise, MVP, all that kind of stuff for the ACC. And then next Tuesday, we're going to do the Big Ten, and then we're actually going to go in alphabetical order. And in about 2 weeks, we'll do the SEC recap show. It's going to be the last one we do. And then we'll do a complete college football, MVP of college football, biggest disappointment in college football, and biggest surprise in college football. That's all coming up in future shows. This is the Full Circle Sports Show. I'm Eric Ellison. Thanks for watching.